A toxic relationship is a shadow that can creep into anyone's life, unbound by age, gender, identity, or the nature of the bond itself. It thrives not in the open wounds of obvious harm, but in the quiet erosion of self-worth, the subtle cracks in trust, and the suffocating weight of control. These relationships, whether romantic, familial, platonic, or professional, are defined not by love or respect, but by patterns of behavior that chip away at emotional, psychological, or even physical well-being. Imagine a partnership where one person's voice grows quieter over time, drowned out by the roar of criticism, manipulation, or unpredictability. It might begin with small things: a partner who insists on controlling decisions, a friend who isolates you from others for your own good, or a family member who weaponizes guilt to bend you to their will. Over time, these behaviors calcify into a dynamic where respect is replaced by disdain, trust by suspicion, and safety by fear. Conversations become minefields, harsh words disguised as honesty, silent treatments that leave you scrambling for forgiveness, or outbursts that force you to tiptoe around another's moods. The harm is often insidious. Gaslighting, for instance, doesn't strike like a bolt of lightning. It seeps in slowly, making you question your memories, your instincts, even your sanity. Disregard for boundaries, whether emotional, physical, or personal, leaves you feeling exposed, as though your needs are an inconvenience. You might find yourself drained after every interaction, as if the relationship siphons your energy to feed its dysfunction. In extreme cases, toxicity escalates to outright abuse, insults that shred self-esteem, threats that paralyze, or violence that leaves both visible and invisible scars. No one is immune. A teenager might endure a parent's relentless belittlement. A colleague could be trapped under a supervisor's coercive demands. Even friendships can curdle into jealousy or exploitation. Sometimes both parties contribute to the toxicity, locked in a cycle of resentment and retaliation. But more often, the imbalance of power tilts sharply, leaving one person struggling to breathe under the weight of control. Breaking free begins with recognition, seeing the patterns without blame or shame. It requires courage to set boundaries, to say, "This is no longer acceptable," even if the response is anger or dismissal. Support becomes a lifeline. Trusted friends who listen without judgment, therapists who help untangle the knots of self-doubt, or hotlines that offer refuge in crisis. And sometimes the healthiest choice is to walk away, to reclaim the light that the relationship dimmed. Healing is not linear, but it is possible. In the end, no one deserves to live in the shadow of toxicity. Every person holds the right to relationships that nurture, respect, and uplift, not ones that diminish their humanity. Toxic relationships rarely improve without deliberate effort from both parties, and even then, change is not guaranteed. The cumulative harm can erode self-esteem, trigger anxiety or depression, and isolate you from healthier relationships.